Have you ever noticed your legs feeling weaker or heavier with each passing day? Imagine struggling to climb the same stairs you used to run up, or pausing halfway through a walk because your calves feel like lead. As a physician who has cared for older adults in the U.S. for decades, I can tell you this is not just normal aging. Often, it's the result of hidden choices in your daily diet, including two vitamins most people think are helping them. Today, I'll explain the real science, share the story of a patient whose independence nearly slipped away, and give you simple, proven ways to protect your leg strength, starting right now. 1. The silent thieves in everyday foods. Many people over 60 believe their weakness is simply due to age, but research tells a different story. According to a 2023 Journal of Gerontology study, up to 40% of muscle loss in seniors is linked to dietary habits, not just aging. This means the way you eat today can either protect or sabotage your legs. One of my patients, let's call her Mrs. H, loved her mid-afternoon cookies and morning toast. Over the years, her walks to the park became shorter, her balance shakier. Blood work and diet review revealed the culprits: refined sugar, low-protein carbs, and certain supplements she thought were helping. 2. Sugar and sweets. Why your dessert may steal your strength. It's no secret sugar isn't health food, but after 60, the consequences become more direct and more dangerous. Excess refined sugar fuels low-grade chronic inflammation, which damages not only your arteries, but also your muscle fibers. Scientific insight. A 2022 American Journal of Clinical Nutrition trial showed that high-sugar diets significantly reduced muscle protein synthesis in older adults within just 4 weeks. Why it matters. Inflammation and insulin resistance caused by sugar rob your muscles of the energy they need, making every step harder. Practical tip. Instead of cake or pie, try baked apples sprinkled with cinnamon or Greek yogurt with fresh berries. These options satisfy your sweet tooth while delivering antioxidants, calcium, and protein, nutrients your legs crave. Doctor's caution. If you're diabetic or on insulin, replacing sugary desserts with fruit may also reduce dangerous post-meal glucose spikes. 3. Fried foods. The hidden weight on your joints. French fries, fried chicken, and donuts taste good, but the trans fats and oxidized oils they contain can stiffen arteries and slow blood flow to the very muscles you rely on for walking. Scientific insight. A Harvard Nurses Health Study follow-up found that older women with high fried food consumption had a 31% higher risk of mobility disability over 12 years. Patient story. One gentleman in his 70s who loved fried fish every Friday noticed his knees ache for days afterward. When he switched to oven-baked salmon with olive oil, not only did the pain improve, but he regained enough stamina to join his grandson's weekend hikes. Practical tip. Air fryers are a fantastic bridge for those who crave crisp textures but want to avoid heavy oils. Pair lean proteins with roasted vegetables for flavor and function. Now that you know how sugar and fried foods quietly sabotage your leg strength, let's talk about a few more everyday items. Foods you might think are harmless, but are silently working against you. 4. White bread. A quick energy spike that leaves you weak. Refined flour acts almost like sugar in your body, quickly raising blood sugar, then dropping it, leaving you tired and craving more carbs. Over time, this robs muscles of consistent fuel. Scientific insight. Older adults on high glycemic diets showed poorer muscle function scores in a 2021 clinical nutrition study, even when total calorie intake was the same as lower GI diets. Practical tip. Swap white bread for sprouted or whole grain breads that offer fiber, magnesium, and plant-based protein. Adding avocado or boiled eggs boosts satiety and muscle repair. Doctor's caution. If you take diabetes medication, switching to whole grains can improve glucose control, but watch for hypoglycemia until your dosage is adjusted. 5. Alcohol, the dehydrator and muscle blocker. A small glass of wine can be fine for many, but beyond that, alcohol acts as a muscle toxin, slowing protein repair, leaching minerals, and dehydrating your tissues. Scientific insight. Even moderate alcohol use was linked to reduced muscle mass and grip strength in adults over 65 in a 2020 age and aging cohort study. Practical tip: replace every alcoholic drink with a glass of water before refilling. Herbal teas like hibiscus or chamomile can satisfy the ritual without harming your muscles. Doctor's caution: alcohol can interact dangerously with blood thinners, diabetes medications, and many painkillers, leading to dizziness, bleeding risk, or liver stress. 6. Processed meats, flavor at the cost of function. Bacon, ham, and sausages pack sodium, nitrates, and saturated fat. These inflame joints and stiffen blood vessels, limiting nutrient delivery to your legs. Scientific insight. High-processed meat diets have been linked to increased frailty in seniors, per a 2022 British Journal of Nutrition study. Practical tip: replace breakfast sausage with turkey slices or mashed avocado on whole grain toast. Use herbs like rosemary and paprika for flavor without chemical additives. Doctor's caution: if you have heart disease or high blood pressure, reducing sodium from processed meats can lower your leg swelling within weeks. We've covered some of the most common, yet underestimated, foods that slowly chip away at your leg strength, often without you realizing it. In the next part, I'll reveal even more everyday items, including pantry staples, that could be silently undermining your mobility, and we'll get closer to exposing the 2 vitamins that may be harming more than helping. 7. Instant noodles, convenience with a long-term cost. For many older adults, instant noodles are a quick and easy solution for a meal. But behind that convenience hides a nutrient void: refined flour, excess sodium, and chemical flavor packets that do more harm than good. Scientific insight. A 2021 study in nutrients found that diets high in ultra-processed foods, including instant noodles, were linked to significantly reduced muscle mass in older populations. Why it matters. High sodium content leads to fluid retention, making legs swell and feel heavy. Poor circulation follows, starving your muscles of oxygen. Patient story. One retired factory worker in Ohio relied on instant noodles several times a week. After switching to quick soups made from frozen vegetables, leftover chicken, and whole grain pasta, he noticed less swelling and could stand for longer without pain. Practical tip: if you must have noodles, add vegetables, lean protein, and discard the seasoning packet. Replace it with herbs like parsley and oregano. Doctor's caution: for those with hypertension or heart failure, the sodium in just 1 packet can exceed half your daily limit. 8. Industrial cakes, sweetness that weakens. Packaged cakes may remind you of childhood, but they're packed with trans fats, artificial dyes, and refined sugars, all of which inflame your body and erode muscle health. Scientific insight. Trans fats are strongly associated with vascular stiffness, which reduces nutrient delivery to your muscles. Journal of Vascular Research, 2020. Why it matters. Poor circulation accelerates muscle breakdown, and the added sugar fuels inflammation. Practical tip: bake your own muffins with almond flour, oats, and mashed banana for sweetness. These give fiber and magnesium to support muscle function. Doctor's caution: if you're on cholesterol-lowering medication, trans fats can counteract your progress and worsen your lipid profile. 9. Ultra-processed cheeses, hidden salt and fat traps. Processed cheese slices and spreads are convenient, but often contain high sodium, saturated fat, and phosphates, affecting both muscle contraction and bone strength. Scientific insight. High phosphate intake from processed foods is linked to increased muscle fatigue in older adults. American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, 2019. Practical tip: choose fresh cheeses like cottage cheese or ricotta, which offer high-quality protein and lower sodium. Doctor's caution: those with kidney disease should be especially careful, as high phosphate levels can worsen bone and muscle weakness. Now that we've covered 3 major processed food traps, let's explore a few more everyday treats and pantry staples that may be silently draining your leg power. 10. Industrial ice creams. Cool treat, cold damage. The sugar-fat combo in commercial ice cream spikes blood sugar and promotes inflammation, leading to stiff, tired legs. Add any artificial stabilizers and colors, and you've got a recipe for reduced circulation. Scientific insight: high sugar, high-fat desserts have been shown to impair endothelial function, the ability of blood vessels to dilate, within hours. Circulation, 2017. Practical tip: make nice cream by blending frozen bananas with cocoa powder and a splash of almond milk. Doctor's caution: if you have peripheral artery disease, even occasional indulgence in high-saturated fat desserts can worsen leg symptoms. 11. Milk chocolates, sweet but not so innocent. Most milk chocolates are low in cocoa and high in sugar and cheap fats, offering none of the antioxidant benefits of dark chocolate. Scientific insight: a study in Nutrients, 2021, found that higher dark chocolate intake correlated with better walking speed in older women, but only when cocoa content exceeded 70%. Practical tip: opt for high cocoa, 70% plus, chocolate, just a square or 2 after lunch for circulation benefits. Doctor's caution: if you're managing diabetes, be mindful of portion size even with dark chocolate. It can still raise blood sugar. 12. Canned foods, shelf life versus leg life. Canned vegetables, meats, and soups often contain excess sodium, preservatives, and sometimes trace metals from the can lining. Scientific insight: sodium benzoate and nitrites have been linked to chronic low-grade inflammation in aging muscles. Food and Function, 2020. Why it matters: inflammation slows recovery from daily activity and increases joint stiffness. Practical tip: choose low-sodium canned goods or rinse contents before cooking. Better yet, use frozen vegetables. They retain nutrients without added salt. Doctor's caution: if you're on blood pressure medication, hidden sodium in canned goods can reduce the drug's effectiveness. 13. Filled cookies and processed snacks, the double hit. These snacks combine sugar spikes with trans fats, creating both an inflammatory and metabolic assault on your muscles. Scientific insight: older adults consuming high trans fat diets had 23% lower physical performance scores in a 2020 U.S. Seniorhealth survey. Practical tip: swap with homemade nut and oat bars sweetened with dates for steady energy. Doctor's caution: for patients with chronic kidney disease, processed snacks often contain hidden phosphorus additives that worsen muscle weakness. We've now uncovered even more foods and additives that slowly steal your mobility, energy, and independence. But we're not done. In the next part, I'll reveal the shocking truth about 2 vitamins. Yes, vitamins that many people over 60 are taking in good faith, but which could be silently weakening your legs. This will change the way you look at your supplement shelf. The vitamin surprise: why more isn't always better. For years, we've been told that vitamins are the key to staying healthy as we age. And while that's true in many cases, taking them in excess, especially without medical supervision, can cause serious problems. In fact, there are 2 vitamins I see many of my patients over 60 taking daily, believing they're strengthening their bones and muscles, when in reality, they may be doing the opposite. 1. Excess vitamin A, when good turns bad. Vitamin A plays a role in vision, immune health, and skin integrity. But your body can't easily get rid of excess amounts, especially from supplements or animal sources like liver. Over time, too much vitamin A can accumulate in the liver and joints. Scientific insight. A 2020 American Journal of Clinical Nutrition review found that chronic high-dose vitamin A supplementation increased fracture risk by up to 29% in older adults. Why it matters for your legs. Excess vitamin A can interfere with calcium and magnesium absorption, two minerals essential for muscle contraction and bone strength. Without them, you may experience muscle weakness, cramps, and even bone thinning in your hips and legs. Patient story. I once treated a retired teacher who took high-dose vitamin A every day for skin health. After months of unexplained knee pain and difficulty rising from a chair, we discovered her vitamin A levels were more than double the safe range. Once she stopped supplementation and switched to getting vitamin A from carrots, sweet potatoes, and spinach, her mobility improved within weeks. Practical tip. Stick to the recommended daily allowance. Around 700 micrograms RAE for women, 900 micrograms RAE for men. Focus on food sources. Brightly colored vegetables supply beta-carotene, which your body converts to vitamin A as needed, avoiding toxic buildup. Doctor's caution. If you're on medications like isotretinoin for skin or certain osteoporosis drugs, excess vitamin A can compound bone loss risk. Always count total intake from both supplements and fortified foods. Vitamin A is not the only one with a double edge. The next vitamin has been widely praised as essential for bone health, especially in seniors. But when taken in excess, it can be just as harmful. 2. Excess vitamin D, the sunshine vitamin's dark side. Vitamin D is often prescribed for bone health, especially in older adults at risk of osteoporosis. But because it's fat-soluble, excess vitamin D builds up in the body instead of being flushed out. Scientific insight. A 2019 study in JAMA Network Open found that seniors taking more than 4,000 IU/day of vitamin D for extended periods experienced more falls and reduced muscle strength compared to moderate doses. Why it matters for your legs. Too much vitamin D can raise calcium levels in the blood, hypercalcemia, which can stiffen muscles, cause cramps, and reduce flexibility in knees, calves, and thighs. It may also deposit calcium in soft tissues like tendons, making movement uncomfortable. Patient story. A 68-year-old avid walker came to me complaining of burning thigh pain and sudden stiffness. She'd been taking 10,000 IU of vitamin D daily because she read it was good for the bones. Blood tests showed very high calcium levels. Reducing her dosage under supervision and increasing hydration helped her recover her walking comfort. Practical tip. Most adults over 60 need between 800 to 2,000 IU/day, adjusted based on blood tests. Pair vitamin D with magnesium-rich foods. Magnesium helps regulate calcium absorption and reduces cramp risk. Doctor's caution. High vitamin D doses can interact with diuretics, heart medications, and antacids, increasing the danger of kidney damage or arrhythmias. Never take high-dose vitamin D without confirming deficiency through a blood test. The bigger lesson, balance over excess. In my practice, I've seen more harm from over-supplementing than from mild deficiencies, because many patients don't realize vitamins can be toxic in high doses. The key is personalized dosing, guided by lab results and your health history. Rule of thumb: food first, supplement second. Annual checkups. Have your vitamin levels tested, especially A and D, if you're over 60. Watch for symptoms. New leg cramps, stiffness, or fatigue could be a sign of vitamin overload, not just aging. We've now uncovered the truth about two vitamins that can quietly weaken your legs if taken in excess. In the final part, I'll bring everything together. Your daily action plan for strong legs, the simple changes that make the biggest difference, and my heartfelt advice after decades of helping older adults stay independent. Over the last 3 parts, we've uncovered how everyday choices, often made without much thought, can slowly chip away at your leg's strength and independence. Part 1 showed us how certain common foods like refined sugar, fried items, white bread, alcohol, and processed meats directly weaken muscles and joints. Part 2 exposed the hidden dangers in convenience foods. Instant noodles, industrial cakes, processed cheeses, ice creams, milk chocolates, canned foods, and flavor enhancers like MSG. Part 3 revealed the surprising truth about 2 vitamins, A and D, that can harm your legs if taken in excess, despite their important roles when used correctly. And now, it's time to turn knowledge into daily action. Because information alone won't keep you walking tall. It's the steps you take each day that will. 1. Build every meal around muscle support. Protein. Include lean sources at each meal: eggs, fish, poultry, Greek yogurt, or beans. Aim for 20-30 g per meal to maintain muscle mass. Healthy fats. Olive oil, nuts, and avocado help reduce inflammation. Whole carbs. Choose oats, quinoa, and whole grain bread over refined flour for steady energy. Doctor's tip: if chewing meat is difficult, try softer protein options like lentil soup, cottage cheese, or smoothies with whey protein. 2. Limit inflammation triggers. Cut back on added sugar, trans fats, and deep-fried foods. Replace industrial snacks with fresh fruit, raw nuts, or homemade oatmeal bars. Doctor's tip: keep healthy snacks visible and ready. When you're hungry, you'll reach for what's easiest. 3. Move every day, even in small ways. Gentle strength exercises like seated leg lifts, wall sits, or resistance band training can maintain muscle power. Aim for at least 20 to 30 minutes of walking or low-impact activity most days. Doctor's tip: pair leg exercises with breathing routines. Oxygen fuels muscle recovery. Once you've got your nutrition, inflammation control, and daily movement in place, there are a few more habits, often overlooked, that can protect your circulation, keep your muscles hydrated, and ensure your supplements are actually helping, not harming. 4. Hydrate and protect circulation. Drink enough water to prevent cramps and stiffness. Limit alcohol and high-sodium foods that cause fluid retention. Doctor's tip: herbal teas like hibiscus or green tea can boost circulation naturally. 5. Get smart with supplements. Only take vitamins A or D if your lab tests show a need. Work with your doctor to choose the right dose and form, especially if you have kidney, heart, or liver concerns. Doctor's tip: more isn't always better. Sometimes more is the problem. Real-life transformation. I've seen remarkable turnarounds when patients commit to these habits. One gentleman in his late 70s could barely walk to his mailbox without resting. By replacing processed snacks with whole foods, cutting back on sugary drinks, and doing 10 minutes of leg exercises daily, he regained enough stamina to volunteer at his community garden. His legs became his passport to a fuller, more independent life. My final words to you: aging does not mean surrendering your mobility. Every food you choose, every step you take, and every supplement you decide to use plays a role in how strong your legs will feel tomorrow. The earlier you make these changes, the more years of strength and independence you can enjoy. Think of your legs as your ticket to freedom. Protect them, fuel them, and they will carry you far. Call to action. If today's video helped you understand your leg health better, here's how you can help yourself and others. Leave a comment below. Which habit will you change first? Share this video with a friend or family member over 60. It could save them years of struggle. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss practical, science-backed advice to keep you strong, independent, and thriving.